Just check you can hear my voice coming through now. Am I coming
Mm.
through on it now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, welcome guys to show. Sorry, we did say 8 o'clock today, but we've had to bring it earlier. Nate's got a big game tonight as a Fulham supporter. If they win, they can win promotion. So we're starting a bit early today. We've got a few topics up for discussion that me and Nat will go through. Clown will join us hopefully at some point to join in. But we aim to get through. It's not going to be a long one today, Easter weekend and all. Um, we're going to start. So Nate, we're going to start with you. Obviously, being a Fulham fan, let's start with Fulham. Big game tonight. Obviously, a slip up midweek. Obviously, needed that one win for promotion now. What's your thoughts on tonight's game and how it's going to go? Considering that like you said to me earlier on today, that a win for you could relegate Derby.
Yeah, obviously a win for us tonight was still promotion. Uh, obviously 3 points for us also relegates Derby. It's not going to be an easy game though. Derby will fight for it, as they've shown all season. Uh, Potential banana skin. I think myself. I'm actually quite nervous for this game than some of the other games this season. As I say, because Derby are not going to go out without a fight. And obviously the defeat to Coventry wasn't our best performance. So yeah, I'm quite nervous for tonight.
Okay. Um, Obviously, I know from being a Fulham fan, you expect to win, but do in my eyes, it should be an easy win, right? Fulham be on fire, been banging goals for fun throughout the season. Don't get me wrong, slip up against Coventry wasn't midweek.
Yeah,
Yeah, slip up midweek. So come back off a defeat. Derby fighting for their lives to even. I think it's about impossible to get out, but they're going to fight to the end. Um, you believe that you can walk away from over 3 points?
I mean on paper you'd say yeah we should absolutely annihilate them, but this is football and anything can happen.
Yeah,
Um, and obviously at the moment I believe we have got a dip in form. Uh, if we're firing on all cylinders and we play to our best, then the score could easily be a 3-4-5-0 win. Uh, but again, this is football, and as I say, Derby are not going to go out without a fight. So I predict a very tight, close game, maybe a 1-0 win either way for either
okay,
side. Myself,
okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, fingers crossed for you tonight, and hope Fulham get the promotion. And obviously, I know were saying that after that they need about 4 points from the next two games to confirm they're champions of the championship. Um,
yeah, I think how it works out. If we win tonight, and then I believe if we beat Preston on Tuesday, then I think it's a win or a point away at Bournemouth basically confirms the title, which would be quite nice, winning it at Bournemouth in front of Scott Parker, uh, obviously ex-manager.
yeah,
It'd be quite nice.
I think that from what I saw from early on today's results was obviously it's tight for those playoffs in the championship. Wouldn't have predicted, even though they went out 10 men, wouldn't have predicted Blackburn losing to Peterborough. I'm going to say that to live in Peterborough, and the fact that they lost being a goal up and lost 2-1 to Peterborough, who are pretty much done and dusted in the championship this season. I don't think there's anything they could win the next thing. I don't think they get out of it. That was one hell of a loss for Blackburn, and the big dent for their championship playoff spots.
Yeah, well, that playoff spot is very, very tight. I mean, I'm looking at the table now. Um, you've got Huddersfield sitting in third on 70 points, Luton 68, Forest 67, uh, Sheffield 65. Then you've got Middlesbrough and Blackburn both on 63. Coventry just behind them on 62 with Millwall.
And they're playing can
West
push
Brom and
Coventry are.
QPR. Yeah, Coventry are on some decent form, and I spoke to my dad not long ago, um, and I spoke about Coventry, and I actually made another bold prediction for next season, um, that I'll share with you. Um, if Coventry keep the same squad and make some additions to it, and they play like they have done towards pretty much all season, I'm actually going to put a £10 or £20 bet on Coventry to get promoted next season.
That's you're basing that on the basis that they don't make the playoffs this season because the run they're on right now, you wouldn't put it past them to make the playoff spots.
I I strongly believe out of the teams that are fighting for it now, Huddersfield I think are safe. They're in the playoffs. Uh, I believe Luton are safe, and I believe Forest are safe. Sheffield United are a bit in and out at the moment with their form and performances. I'm going to make a bold prediction that Coventry was. It's between Coventry and Blackburn for me who take that final playoff space. Um, and judging by what I've seen from Coventry all season and the way they played against Fulham last weekend, and obviously again today away to Birmingham, I believe they could nick the final playoff space.
Fair enough. See, I'm going to make a prediction here as well, and on the championship that I was looking at today, and I'm going to say that I got this weird feeling that Bournemouth are going to be in the playoffs. It's close between them and Huddersfield aren't far behind. You look at that table, Huddersfield aren't far behind.
Huddersfield are not far behind, and you know what? I'm going to agree with you. To be fair, uh, based on Bournemouth's form, they're not scoring as many goals.
They're not
Uh,
consistent.
they're not consistent. Their form is in and out. And as a Fulham fan, and obviously Scott Parker being the ex-Fulham manager or coach or whatever he wanted to be classed as, I think Huddersfield catch them. Bournemouth are playing too negative, exactly the same way he set Fulham up in the Championship and in the Premier League. And I believe Bournemouth are going to foul. I believe Bournemouth will finish third in the league.
I think Huddersfield might just pip it.
Yeah,
Personal opinion.
yeah, I strongly agree with you there. I mean, they're already drawing with QPR, so a win here will be quite good for them.
Cool. Right, chat. So what we had, obviously, it wasn't part of the discussion this morning. It wasn't going to be part of the discussion today, but obviously we had a big announcement in the Premier League today. Sean Dyche getting sacked as a Burnley manager with 8 games to go. Now, obviously, he's been there for 10 years, longest reigning Premier League manager until today. And for me, and I think the rest of the footballing world, it's been a shock that one, Burnley have done that, and two, with 8 games to go, making a change right now, I don't see it making a massive difference. I think you hinder the club more than you do benefit to the club, but they're going to get used to your new manager's tactics, the way he plays, etc., so on. And going by what some of um, the pros have said, like Jamie Carragher came out today and saying, absolutely shocking decision to make. If they gave him more money to spend, he would have been able to do more. He worked on a shoestring budget, which is true. And Gary Neville pretty much said the same thing. And you saw loads of different posts from different managers, Arteta, Brentford manager, all of them were saying, it's a shot to them because he worked with a shoestring budget on there. What's your thoughts on that, Natty?
Just wow, that's all I'm going to say. I didn't see it coming. I don't see I mean, I don't get the logic behind the sacking. But you think of what he's had to work with since he's been there. You know, if you compared transfer budgets to the boxing class weights, you've got your heavyweights, your big, the top fours. Burnley are sort of like the bantamweight class, aren't they? Really,
Mm-hmm.
it's just crazy. I mean, I know Burnley are always in amongst that relegation fight, but end of the season, I can understand.
Yes,
Um,
a change.
put eight games remaining, and let's be honest, Burnley are not out of they're not,
No,
that Burnley has still got a chance to get out of it.
if you look at their games they've got West Ham away, Southampton at home, Wolves at home, Watford away, um, Aston Villa at home and away, Tottenham away, and Newcastle at home. Games there are winnable, especially their home
Yeah,
ones. They're tough at home. So we've got one, two, they've got 4 home games, which is 12 points, a potential of
yeah.
12 points. And you're basing that on that if Everton go in and win more games. And Everton got a tough run in. We talked about that last week. The games they
And I've
got
got
coming
very
up
tough on it.
are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So based on that, why would it just doesn't make sense to me why you would think that a change of manager when you're looking at some change of tactics, it's not like you've got money to spend to them. That new manager's not going to have money to spend. Dyche had no money to spend in 10 years. He bought one player a season, if that, you
Hmm.
know, and that was at a 10
I,
million budget.
I'm just wondering if something, stacking like that, is there anything going on behind? It's got to be something behind the scenes, maybe, possibly. Is there, has there been some sort of dispute because it just does like it doesn't make sense. And obviously, they do need to make a change if they survive um, going forward. But generally, who comes in now and
That's my point.
makes a difference? Who comes in now and makes a difference? Who's going to want that job? In all fairness,
Exactly. There's no. I don't think there's. You can go out and look at probably League Two manager got sacked or League One manager that's got sacked, but or not in work right now. But who's going to come in, leave their club at this moment on, and say I can do this? Nothing funny, you know. I can see them going for someone like Rooney just for the sake of. I'm just putting it out there because the fact that get relegated things like okay, Rooney wants to get his name higher, etc. But he's not. He's got to work just on the same budget he's got at Derby. There's no budget. There was literally like 10 million quid a year. Considering they've been in the Premier League consistent for the last 7 years, they must have made some profit to give like to help build the club a bit.
why would Rooney leave Derby? All right, yeah, they're going to go down, but if Derby didn't have that points deduction, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in now because they've actually picked up a lot of points, had decent games,
Yeah,
looked quite strong. And now, obviously, it's inevitable. I think Derby are gone. They're playing League One football
yeah,
next season, but they've now got a takeover, I believe, sorted, funds available. I believe Rooney will be best off staying at Derby for another season, seeing if he can get them promoted, maybe have another crack in the Championship.
yeah.
For the experience side of things, I just don't. I don't. No disrespect to Rooney, I don't see how he goes into Burnley and changes things.
No, no, I get that, and and that's it. I can't name a manager right now, top of my head, that I can think of that is free available, unless they go and speak to Big Sam again. He's the only person doing coming for 8 games and see if we can keep him up. And that's and I know, but he's the normal no go to guy at this time of the year, right?
Yeah,
He's the normal go to guy this time of year. Go and speak to Big Sam, see if we come and step in for 8 games, see if we can keep us up with the games left, etc. And to be honest, if anything, he plays a pretty much similar style of football to Sean Dyche.
yeah.
So it won't be a massive change for the players. But you bring anyone else in who's got ambitions of playing a different style of football, that's backfire on you straight away. I'm not being funny. Your team are not going to be able to do what you want to do.
I also see a comment on Twitter about this situation, and someone's actually put that this time next year, Sean Dyche will be the new Fulham manager. That's what I read today. And
Again, like don't worry, Sean Dyche's got his CVs. Don't worry, he's not won anything, but what he's achieved at Burnley with the shoestring budget, his CV
yeah,
speaks volume, right? It's
yeah,
not about trophies, not about medals. It's literally about he has worked wonders with that club for the last 10 years. They've been up, been down, got them straight back up, and then they've stayed here for the last 6, 7 years, right? So what he's done there, he got them to Europe,
yeah.
finished thing, got him into Europe. So he has worked wonders for what he's had to deal with. And I just think personally it's a shocking, shocking move of what they've done. And a move I don't get this late into the season. And like you said, end of season, we're going to change things. We're going to play a different
Yeah.
style of football. Understandable. Whether you stay up or not, irrelevant. But we're going to play a different style of football. But doing it with
It's-
now,
Also, as well, he signed a new 4-year contract last September, which again doesn't make sense. If why sack him now?
see, I heard he signed a 4-year contract in 2018. which was due to end this summer.
No, he signed a new 4-year contract until 2025 with Burnley in
Okay,
September last year.
okay.
Uh,
So yeah, makes no.
I mean, their record is terrible. I think they've only won four Premier League games this season.
Yeah,
Um, but
don't worry. It's the worst season they probably had under him. Apart from the two, obviously the relegation he had, obviously went down, but they saw what he could do. Obviously, he's brought them straight back up from going down, so he's got the ability to do that again. And but don't get me wrong, okay, we've seen it before. We've seen worse sackings before as well, right? Where people just go after 6 months or 3 months or 6 weeks sometimes, you know. But I think for what he's done for that club and the way they've done this is wrong. Personal opinion.
I mean, let's be honest. He's never been backed, really, has he, by the
No,
chairman?
no,
Financially, when you look at other teams that come up and down, uh, no, I'll just use Fulham for an example because it's easier for me to talk about them. When we come up, we get the financial backing, whether it be loan players or transfers, to improve the squad. Um, he ain't nowhere near getting what we get.
yeah,
And I guarantee we come up this season. You know, our manager's already been told he's got the financial backing of the board, of the chairman, of the board, uh, to get the players in to keep us up. But Dyche don't even get that. Dyche just like, this is your team. You got to make it work, and it's the same story every season.
yes,
Fight to keep us in the league. That's it. And now they said now's the time to make a change. But again, how 8 games remaining? What change are you going to make? That's it. I don't. It's just, to me, it's probably one of the biggest announcements I've heard in football this season.
yeah. I didn't. Like, you messaged me this morning saying, "Have you seen thingy? We need to talk about this in the show today." Um, but it's not something I would have expected coming around the corner. I just, especially like I said, 8 games to go. Changing a manager makes no difference. If you can do it, do what Norwich done in January,
Yeah,
right? If you've got doubts already that your manager can't keep you up, do what Norwich done. Went to go to Smithy Boy and said, right, see what you can do, but we'll back you in to get you back up next season. Accepting
it's
their
just
fate a little bit. But again, I don't get it. Makes no sense, that decision. And I think, if anything, I think they've hurt themselves more now than they would have done it by keeping Dyche in place.
100%.
So, that's what that is. So we're going to next things. We go to midweek. Some big European games happen midweek. Me and Note are both watching most of them. So I'll start with my boys, obviously. Through to the semi-final Champions League. 3-3 draw Benfica. I think we just took our foot off the pedal, knowing we were through by that point. We were 3-1 up with 10 minutes to go. End up 3-3. But and the fact that we now, obviously, we're going to face the winners of Villarreal and Bayern. We expect, I think, if you ask most people, they would have expected Bayern. But we've got Villarreal in the semis. Now that could be bad for Liverpool because obviously they think they might go and thinking it's a walkover, which is the wrong thing to do considering how well Villarreal have done so far. But yeah, so Villarreal versus Liverpool in the first semis. As a Liverpool fan and not being biased either, if you ask me as a non, but I think Liverpool win that all day long.
I pretty much agree. If you ask me, as a neutral, on paper, you couldn't have asked for
Hey Luna,
a better draw. You couldn't have asked for a better semi final.
no,
Um, on paper, you'd say Liverpool wiped the floor of them in the probably game over in the first leg. But again, Villarreal, I don't think after the other night's performance you can write them off.
no, you can't take it
Um,
lightly.
I still think you're gonna have to be in your A game. Uh, I don't see where they beat you. I think you're too strong for them. Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to get through.
No, I
Some
don't.
big.
I think if you asked anybody, you were all, before this quarterfinals even took place. If you're asking who the semi final, I think everyone had written down. Especially, I'll say from the Liverpool side of view, Liverpool versus Bayern as a semi.
Yeah,
I think I don't think you find anybody who would dispute that they didn't have that down as a semi final before the quarterfinals took place.
yeah,
The other side of it different, but from this side of it, and obviously the other side of the draw, we have Man City who came through, which I thought was a. I'm gonna put, but I think Man City Real Madrid in the semis, and I'll bring up both games, but I'll start off with the Man City game. Um, is I think what I saw on Wednesday night showed explains to me why no one goes to Diego Simeone as a manager, because he is every time a job comes up, a big job, his name's touted, but no one actually goes to him. And when
yeah,
you're 1-0 down in the Champions League and looking to get semi final, you played that negative at home, and you don't use it. It made no sense to me the way they
yeah,
played. It was like they were scared of Man City.
yeah. I agree. And that performance it did quite surprise me, to be fair, because I expected it to be two different games, both legs. I expected Man City to dominate at home,
Yep.
um, but
Are
based
you,
on
Luna?
previous stuff, that season's games, you expect Atletico Madrid to dominate them at home, and I don't know. It has. I'm quite shocked that they didn't put up more of a fight.
Yeah, and that's where I'm
Um,
at.
well, I say more of a fight. They seem to do more fighting off the pitch than they did on.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, yeah. I thought it could have been a lot tougher for Man City than it was. Um, but I think that's a cracking semi final. To be fair, Man City Real Madrid.
I think that'd be an awesome final. I
Um,
really do.
again, I mean, Real Madrid are quite capable going to, as we see them do it to Chelsea. Um, if they can do that at Etihad, I think it will be curtains as well. Because I don't see Man City if Madrid play like they did against Chelsea at the Bernabeu, they're quite good defending going forward.
See, this is where
Uh,
I go against you a little bit, Nutties. Who's best player in Man City in my eyes is Kevin De Bruyne. He's their best player by a mile, Luna. Their best player by a mile. So what I say about Real Madrid is, I think shit will ruin them. I don't. I think defensively, from what I saw on Wednesday night, Real Madrid was shocking.
so
I don't know. I
I
saw the
don't know.
first leg, and they were really good, but then I saw the second leg, and I thought they were shocking, Nutty. And like the
They wasn't as
handballs
good.
was harsh. Like really, don't know. I get the rules, and I what you're gonna say. The rules are rules, but I don't think it actually really touched that much. I think it just brushed, like literally the ball. He didn't move his hand. The ball brushed.
It's what it is, isn't it? It sucks to be a Chelsea fan. That's what I think of that one.
I know you're gonna
I
say
mean,
that.
I absolutely loved it, that game.
It was a good game for a neutral. It was a brilliant
Brilliant,
game.
brilliant, brilliant game. But yeah, I just think Real Madrid deserved it myself. Chelsea were good. Don't get me wrong. Chelsea did play well. Um, but yeah, for me as a Fulham fan, I'm glad Chelsea went out
Yeah, I bet you do.
myself. I was very,
Luna,
very.
which team's got the better goalie? What from Real Madrid and City, Luna? Is that what you're saying? But yeah, so yeah, oh, tough one that is. You got Mendy and Courtois. Um, I think it's even. If I'm honest with you, Luna, I don't think I can say either are the best in the world. Um, and Mendy, no, you're talking about Real Madrid and Man City now, aren't you? I'll say Man City had them because I was Edison. So I say Man City probably got the better goalkeeper. sorry, I think about Chelsea then. Man City probably got a better goalkeeper, Luna, just by a tad. Courtois is good, but I think he's aging.
Alter,
Um,
he's gone downhill since he's come out of the Premier League,
yeah.
in my opinion.
So I would say Man City have got the better goalie in this. On that. So yeah, so I think Man City Real Madrid will be a good, really good game for the neutrals, especially um, kind of thing. So if I can say, no, you pick a final. Who's your final?
I'm going Real Madrid, Liverpool.
Real Madrid, Liverpool. I want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to play English club in the final. Watching Liverpool Tottenham last night, it broke me. So I don't want an English club in the final. I'd rather just have a foreign club in the final. I don't know, but I just rather have a foreign club, and especially I'll come back to it after. But yeah, I'd rather just have thing uh, Real Madrid as well in the final. I want payback kind of thing. Luna, you just missed that. So we just literally spoke about that about 20 minutes ago. So the reason we're doing the show early today is because United's team Fulham have got a game at 8 o'clock, and if they win promotion, which means that they're in the Premier League, irrespective. And then if they get 4 points in the next two games, they win the Championship to go to the Premier League. So that's where that comes from. So go and talk about Europe, Nutty. UEFA Cup. Tell me more. What happened in UEFA Cup this week?
wow. Obviously, West Ham beat Lyon. Rangers beat Braga, which is massive for both clubs this season. Frankfurt beat Barcelona, which again, wow. Didn't I'd say I didn't expect it.
It was at Barcelona as
Um,
well.
yeah, that's what what I want to know. How did Frankfurt have 30,000 fans in the ground? Was like what was the logic in that? Was there some thought of
Don't know.
I don't know.
I'll come back to
Just
your question in a minute, Luna.
yeah, some big some big games.
See, I can see
Uh,
West Ham getting to the final. Frankfurt in the semis is a winnable game for me now.
yeah, Frankfurt for West Ham is a very winnable game. Uh, and there's potential for for a Rangers West Ham final.
Yeah, that would be
Rangers have got to
awesome.
play RB Leipzig, which is not going to be easy.
No, it's not.
But for me, Rangers have got that back when Fulham went on that UEFA Cup run. I'm getting the same sort of vibes from then with Rangers. Um,
You mean
Obviously Fulham.
when they lost
Yeah,
the
when we
final?
lost in the final, yeah. But on our way to that final, we knocked out some
Yeah,
really big boys in the world of football. Shakhtar Donetsk, Juventus, Wolfsburg, Hamburg, Roma. We didn't have we played more games than anyone in that
yeah,
whole
because
competition.
you started from that Mickey Mouse Trophy, didn't you, first to get into it, where it was called back
Yeah,
then?
well, we went from I think it was the first qualifying round
Yeah, what was that trophy
right
called
away.
again?
The in
Intertoto. Was it Intertoto Cup?
Nah, we qualified through through the Fair Play League.
Yeah, but it's oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay.
But we have won the Mickey Mouse Cup, the Intertoto, isn't it?
Yeah,
That was like back in the days when we played at Ground Shed of QPR. When we had like Louis Beaumorte,
yeah,
uh, all of them sort of players. But yeah, I'm just getting them vibes from Rangers uh, with the way they're playing. I mean, let's face it, Rangers domestically, I think the league is Celtics.
yeah,
So they can put a bit more concentration on the European Cup. Um, and I think if Rangers and West Ham both get to the final, that is going to be some game, some
yes.
atmosphere.
100, really,
Uh,
100%. I'd
I
love to see
mean,
that
as a
final.
neutral, I'd love to get a ticket to go and watch that game.
Yes.
like,
Yes, agree with
Yeah,
you 100%. Luna, I should have learned football from 90. Now I'm stuck in my. Luna, we had this discussion before. You decided to go with Arsenal when I told you to go with Liverpool at the time. You would have more fun going with Fulham than Arsenal. Like, don't get me wrong, Clown's not here right now to defend Arsenal, but um, yeah, that was your choice you made at that time. Once you've made the choice, you can't change anymore. You got to stick with it. You can't change. Once you've got a team, you got to stick with it no matter what happens. And the other one, we've obviously got Leicester, who went away to
yeah,
PSV in the Conference Cup, who are in
yeah,
the semis now as well. So looking at the European picture as a whole, a lot of British teams in there.
yeah. Awful lot of British teams. I haven't really looked too much into the. Here it is. So you've got Leicester, Marseille, Roma, and Feyenoord.
Not be funny.
They're at the
That's a tougher group
semi-finals.
than the Europa League.
That is,
That's tougher than Europa, and that's supposed to be the
yeah.
Conference Cup.
I mean, take Leicester out of that equation at the moment. Marseille, Roma, and Feyenoord. You're pretty much expecting the Champions League. Like,
That's what I'm saying. That's, what I'm,
um,
that's exactly what I'm saying. That you just said those teams. Now I'm like, hang on, are you sure you're looking at the right league, like right cup there? Because this is supposed to be lower than Europa League, like the old Cup Winners' Cup.
yeah, that's just like wow. And that's again, that's Leicester's first European semi-final
Yeah,
that they'll be in. And I think who are they playing?
I think they're playing one of the other two, not Roma.
Roma.
Oh, they're playing Roma.
No, is it Roma?
I thought it was one of the other two. Now I'd be like a Patriots fan.
I don't know, but I mean, realistically, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in them semi-finals
No,
against
they're
any
tougher
different
than what
teams.
the other one is, in my opinion.
Yeah. But again, Leicester's obviously had a decent run in there. I'll be honest, I haven't really followed the Conference League. Like, I don't really get the
No,
logic
I
in
haven't. To be fair,
in this Conference League. Like, I don't
I, th-
quite understand it.
I think it was built in to give lesser clubs more chance to be in a European competition. So basically, what they've done is brought back the Cup Winners' Cup, right? In my opinion,
Yeah.
we had the Cup Winners' Cup. They got rid of it and left it with Europa League and extended the Europa League and the Champions League, but there's still
So,
clubs missing out, so they've given them another option.
so I got a question for you then. Do you agree that the clubs that finish third in the Champions League group stages deserve to go into the UEFA Cup or Europa League, whatever it's called now? Do you believe that? That's right. That's fair.
Who are you talking to? Someone in your chat?
No, I'm talking to you.
Oh, to me. I
Yeah,
thought. Okay. Do I believe finishing third? No. I think once you're out of the cup, you're out of the cup.
you're out of the cup. Yeah, like,
Personally, I don't see why you should then get because you were
it's like
Champions League.
it's a second chance.
Yeah.
Because for me, this is like one of the things that really annoyed me as a Fulham fan when we was in Europe. We went from the qualifying stages, and then we got in, and we got partnered up with Roma and stuff like that, Juventus, because they finished third in the Champions League groups, and I was like, but surely if you're out, you're out. That's it. Why are you getting the second chance that and then potentially knock us out? It's a bit unfair. And that's what I'm not getting about this conference thing or anything like that. I just think it's a bit.
So for me, then going back to what you've just said, if you want to make Europa League a bigger competition, you make those conference team players into the Europa League to make Europa League bigger. But you don't give
Yeah,
someone who's going out in the Champions League, not even finishing second, finishing third, to come in to a Europa League and say, "Oh, here's another chance for you to get back in the Champions League next season if you win it."
yeah.
Because it makes no sense. Because it just makes no sense whatsoever. So for me, yeah, it's bullshit. Personally, I think if you're out, you're out. It's not like it's like us doing. You play the FA Cup, but if you knock out, you can go back in the cup in the League Cup. But it's
Yeah,
a lesser cup. It doesn't make sense
but I
at all.
think from a Leicester's perspective, uh, did anyone predict them to win the league?
No, I don't think anyone saw him win the league.
You know,
That was a freak season.
so are they dreaming again? They could be dreaming again of winning this cup, and it could happen.
It could. They've done bit
it
by
very
bit.
could.
You know, they won the
You
league.
think PSV up until that game were on a 15-match unbeaten run and kept 5 clean sheets in the past 6 games. So credit to Leicester where it's due. Hopefully Leicester can go on and do well and get where they win the cup.
Yeah.
That's what I hope anyway.
Yeah, no, agree. It is one of those. I think Leicester have been doing it from a European point of view, where not European, but from a cup. They won the league, had a bit of a sabbatical from winning anything. Then they won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Now they're obviously in that Conference Cup where they can get into it, and
also Leicester winning this tournament will guarantee them European football next season because they're 11 points off the Europa Conference League spot in the league as it stands.
But did they get back in the Conference League, or did it go? Is it like Europa League? If you win Europa League, you get a Champions League spot. If you win a Conference League, do you get Europa spot?
Qualification.
I honestly couldn't tell you how that works.
I don't know how the Conference League works, whether you get back in if you win it or not. I don't know I don't know the Conference League well enough to understand it, to be honest. To say this, that, the other. Welcome, Clown, or welcome, Rick, should I say? No, I hope everything's all right.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Just
yeah, so after we've gone through if you can have your input on some of the stuff we've already said, which I'll tell you now. We've obviously spoke about Fulham's game today at 8:00, gets them promoted, wins them promotion if they win today's game against Derby, and it relegates Derby. And then obviously if they get 4 points from the last 2 games, they'll win the championship as well.
Okay.
We spoke. Don't know if you've got an opinion on the Sean Dyche sacking today. We've said our bit, saying it's awful and don't understand why they do it with 8 games left. With the 8 games they've got, some of them they've got 12 winnable points there from the home games. So, if you've got
I'm gonna have to probably just agree with you guys. I don't fully understand why you would do it like this close to the end of the season. Second of all,
hey, jump shot.
He's probably done everything for you. Everything that we know Burnley to be, he's been at the helm.
Yeah.
And I did say to you, I think it was in our first one back, I said, when they lost Wood, they lost that one key part to their whole survival, really, because they've always been tough to beat, but they always managed to get them goals against everyone else. 1-0s. Okay. But, yeah, I'm not really too sure. Well, obviously, they've done what they've done, and Burnley are now going to hope that there is life after Sean. But if anything, I'd be feeling pretty let down if I was Sean, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what we said, Rick. We said the same thing.
Okay. Then, yeah. If that's, then yeah, I'm in total agreement.
We just said, he worked on a shoestring budget for 10 years. He, didn't ask for much. He worked with what he had. And yet he moaned
more about league fixtures and rules rather than his own club and the funding he got to do what he did. And that was keep a team in the top.
Hope you're well.
In the top league throughout how many years now? It happens. I think Burnley were like that new Wigan. I always thought Wigan were like that. They came up out of nowhere. They stayed in the Premiership for ages. They weren't ever an easy team to break down, but they never did anything. And I felt like Burnley were that same type of team. They came up out of doing nothing, and they've managed to stay in here for quite a while. So fair play to them. I just don't believe that it's going to work out as well as they think it is in the next 8 games.
Cool. Right. I'll come back to a question before I go to our last 2 bits of the session. Clan, this is to you from Luna. What's happening with Arsenal? Are they in the dance?
Is there a section for that? Because there is for me. I was going to
You
talk.
can do it now. Do it now, Clown.
Arsenal, as we're well aware, haven't got the squad. We all said this leading into January. Arsenal needed to strengthen. The fact is Arsenal brought in no one, and we let go of versatile and key players. Yes, it works for Arsenal when we've got a fully fit system of players that play to what Arteta need, which, as we're aware, are 11 players, maybe 12. But you take one out of that, and that's not even the case. You've taken two of our key players that I believe are a part of that, which is in Kieran Tierney, as far as I'm concerned, my next captain for Arsenal, and Thomas Partey, who it's no surprise he got player of the month. He dominated that midfield against whoever and whenever. And this was a player that was told he wasn't allowed to go back to his country after a dismal performance in the African Cup of Nations. So, yeah, it's fallen apart. Whereas our game against Brighton, as much as I'll give it to Brighton, Brighton looked like they were the ones fighting for fourth. But they did score two they were wonderful goals. And if they were scored for your team at Liverpool or at Fulham, you'd be sat there going, well done. That's why you're paid big money. And it was just one of them. But what didn't help was Arteta just got our tactics wrong. When you've already lost Thomas Partey, as I just said, your general in midfield, you rely on the other person that makes that midfield, Xhaka. And then you put him at left back. I know hindsight is like a really good thing to have, but telling me after the game that you thought there'd be more space on the left side, which is why you played a centre midfielder in left back position when you already have a left back on the bench, you know, the ones that the fans are singing and chanting his name, I can hear through it while he's warming up. Why? Why would you not trust him? And that's what cost us. Arteta's tactics cost us for the last game against Brighton. And Crystal Palace, I actually brushed myself off of. I actually thought, do you know what? It happens. Crystal Palace are on a bad side. So I'll brush myself off. But the loss against Brighton, I'm not going to lie, we're nearly a week on and I'm still feeling it. And we're playing Southampton away tomorrow. So it goes, that's what I mean. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Arteta got last game and tomorrow. Use the players you bought, bruv. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that the big thing is about that is obviously the fight for top four. So we'll go on to that right now. One of the last two sections, what we've got today. So we've got the fight for top four. And you look at the tables right now. So you've got so Chelsea on 62 points, but I think they're in it. But you look at fight for top. You've got Tottenham play 31 games with 57 points. You've got Arsenal play 30 games with 54 points. And then you've got West Ham play 32 games, 51, and Man United play 31, 51. And an outside chance possibly for Wolves, but I don't see them coming in. So I think you're looking at Tottenham, Arsenal. Is that
tell you the truth,
Arsenal?
I think this out of Tottenham and Arsenal.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that Tottenham, Arsenal? And I think that game, is it at yours or is it at Spurs?
Well, it's at Hart Lane, yeah.
Right. So I think that now becomes a big game.
But for me, it's one of them. It's not even that game that I think bases it. Because even though we've got Southampton this weekend, we've actually got midweek games next week. So we actually play Man United, I believe, first.
Right.
No, Chelsea, sorry. Chelsea midweek. And then we play Man United.
Oh, okay. I see your point.
These are before the Tottenham game. That could have already decided it. That could let Man United back in by then.
Yeah.
It could also secure Chelsea in third if they beat us. Because let's face it, if Chelsea lose to us and Tottenham then go on and win, even Tottenham could fucking get third.
Yeah, they could.
And that's what I mean. Chelsea aren't I don't believe their Champions League status is probably safe, but I don't believe that their third place is safe.
Okay.
If they carry on playing the way that they have done, obviously, I think their performance in the Champions League, it was heartbreaking, but it is what it is. You let yourselves go in the first game, and that's what Tuchel said. He said we pretty much left ourselves undone. But you played well. You gave yourself a little bit of hope, but you just didn't stay. Because I was sat here watching the game with one of my Chelsea mates, and I could see it in his eyes. They threw it away. They gave that whole 3-0 lead away. And he said it was heartbreaking, knowing that they fought all that time to get that. And that's what I mean with Chelsea. You're not sure whether you're getting that or the team that couldn't play football against Brentford 2 weeks ago. And I know it's the same with my team right now. And I'm not going to lie, Tottenham are... And they scored something like 12 goals in their last three
They're
games.
ridiculous. They've scored some ridiculous amount of
They're
goals.
not letting loose. And like, these are teams, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, we just played Aston Villa. They're still a unit to break down. They've not been playing well, but they're not ones that just lay down. And then fucking Tottenham turned up and slipped them 4-0. And I'm thinking, well, what do I fucking know then? But yet, people like, even as a Liverpool fan, you've been to Villa and know how hard them nights can be, especially when you're not at the race and they are. They've done some heavy defeats to some big teams. My team being one of them, your team being another one of them. It happens. But yeah, I don't know about Champions League spots. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Tottenham. These are the runners for the Champions League. I believe two of them, well, obviously, two of them by factual are safe. They're in a league title run. But
if it's coming
say
down
Chelsea
to,
lost 3, could you see them dropping out of the top 4 completely? And would you say that Chelsea are too good to not lose 3? And that's what I'm trying to ask. I didn't see him beating I didn't see him losing to Brentford. I put them down for a 4-0 smashing because I wanted a comeback. We're still European champions. What we've all been hearing, European champions. We're this, we're that. Oh, now we've got Lukaku. Now we're going to challenge for the league as well, and it's been a business. And now they're even failing in the league.
What are you going to say, Natty?
I'm just looking, if we're saying that the Arsenal-Tottenham game comes down to who goes to the final Champions League spot, I mean, looking at Arsenal's fixtures, you got Southampton on Saturday, Chelsea away, Man United at home, West Ham away, Leeds at home, before you even touch Tottenham.
And as we saw, who's our last game against?
Newcastle, I believe.
No,
Tottenham.
No, Everton, who just beat
Man United.
And I would still tell you, Man United have a better squad than what we have. So, once again,
it could be curtains.
I said it last week.
Even get
Arsenal
to that game.
do not have a strong enough squad, and when you start picking up injuries after Kieran Tierney playing 180 minutes in 2 friendlies, where the hell's Robinson? Seriously, give my guy a break. But 180 minutes, if it was that qualifier, so say they had to play the Ukraine and then Wales in them 2 games, you wouldn't be hearing that from me. Because that means something to him, and I know that would mean something to him. This decides whether you represent your country at the World Cup. Okay, but it weren't. It was 2 meaningless friendlies.
He's out for the season, isn't he?
Yep, he's had to have knee surgery.
All right, well, I've just read something here from Arteta when asked about Partey. He said the news that we got after another assessment was not great. It is not looking very positive for his availability this season.
He's supposedly, if there's any chance, he might be back for the last 2 games. But once again, 2 medical opinions, one telling you that there is muscle damage there. They just couldn't tell you how bad it was. So they went and got a better scan and stuff. And this specialist has now turned around and said, if you want him for pre-season, considering that the league starts in August, he shouldn't play another minute. And that's what he's supposedly been advised. So that's it. Then the rest of these games, without Kieran Tierney and a left back in Tavares that clearly the manager doesn't trust, Thomas Partey, and don't get me wrong, I like Lokonga. I don't get why he's getting all the stick, because look how long it took Partey to be the general we needed him to be.
Luna in a minute.
I think Lokonga, you don't go in and ask two certain people about this kid. And them two people, by the way, were Vincent Kompany and Thierry Henry. Both of them sent Arteta reports back saying, if you want him, go for him, because this kid will not let you down. He is the future of this Belgium. Okay. If it's coming from you two, as an Arsenal fan, I'm taking that all day long, or even as a fan of football. Vincent Kompany wasn't exactly a bad footballer. So for me, I think Arsenal it's going to come down to Arteta's tactics now. And Arteta's stubborn. He reminds me, and that's why I feel like he's got that pep to him. Like, it's my way or the highway. I don't care whether we got blips. These players are going to learn that regardless whether it's harder, it's the way I want to play. Now, I've had a lot of fans say that he's going to revert back to the 3-5-2 like he did to win the FA Cup. Okay, it beat the likes of Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. I get that. But would you want to take steps backwards?
Claire, I'm going to say something now. Just listen to everything you're saying and I'm going to bring a question up here. I feel like you sound defeated already.
No, it's not. If I sounded defeated, would I have still put Arsenal in that race and counted Man United out, considering that there isn't even a gap
it's
between
just where
us?
you're feeling with, like you said, you've only got 11, maybe 12 players. You've lost 2. You're down to 10.
No, but that's what I mean. It's not the team that I'm saying that is going to affect what happens in these games. As I said to you, that Crystal Palace, I think we can all admit, all of us could go to Crystal Palace on a Monday night and probably get beat 3-0. Palace can do that. That's why I said by Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd brush myself off, and you didn't see me coming in. You didn't see me come onto the podcast and be like, nah, mate, that was shit. No, Arsenal were shit. But Palace weren't shit as well. They were good. So therefore, I don't mind it. They were on it. They wanted it. Vieira had clearly drilled them. Get onto them. Defend from the front, because everyone else gives the people like Ben White a time to pick out a 40-yard ball to Martinelli, and then they're on the back foot. And they cancelled that out. The difference with the Brighton game was Arteta's tactics. You're missing half of your midfield, so you thought you'd put the other half of it at left back because of something you thought. Now, I get that, as I said, I get that hindsight. Hindsight might be well and good right now. But can a manager make changes during a game? So it's not a case of, oh, maybe I should have seen it. Maybe I now know that it wasn't the case. I got it wrong. Hang on a minute. You had 90 minutes. You were watching it from the sideline. You saw exactly the same as us. Xhaka clearly wasn't having time on the left. Lokonga really needed more support in the middle. What was it? Lacazette weren't doing anything up front. Normally, I give him credit because he does link up the play. This guy normally can't even run after 80 minutes because of the amount of running he's done. And he looked fresh as a bloody daisy at the end of the Brighton game. And I'm sat there thinking, nah, just weren't good enough. The tactics weren't good enough. So and as Nutty has reminded me, Southampton just lost 6-0 to Chelsea. We all remember what happened when they got smashed up by Leicester that game. They came back with a fucking vengeance.
Yeah, so I've got a question for you from Luna. He's saying, is this karma for Arsenal getting rid of their star player for unknown reasons?
but it's not unknown reasons. Right, everyone keeps seeming to think just because he's scoring at Barcelona, if we never got rid of him, you think he'd be scoring now?
You think
That issue would still be there.
You think
The
he'd be
issue
better off
don't
now?
go
Hang on.
away.
Do you think he'd be better off
No,
now?
no, no. But he sold Aubameyang, and we then still went on, and every other team, including yourself as a Liverpool fan, said Arsenal look like they've got a style of play. Arsenal are actually dominating games against the likes of your own team, against the likes of Man City for 80 minutes. And I know 80 minutes don't count for shit when you still lose 2-1. I get that. But the fact is the banter club that everybody plastered my club with isn't even the case anymore. Now it is the case of, it's not banter, it's just bad tacticians. And I get that you're learning on the job, Arteta, and I know that you're working with a small squad, but you knew this coming in, and Arsenal board knew that he didn't know what he was doing.
I guess if you don't
Everything Arteta had done, he's only seen someone else do. Correct?
If you don't get top 4, should he stay or go? What do you think about Arsenal? Stay or go? Would you keep it Arteta,
Right.
or would you get rid? I'll let Clown
Me?
think for a second.
Get rid. I think. If in order for Arsenal to go forward, I think they need a better manager. That's my honest opinion. He's not in the same category as the managers that are in the top 3.
No, nowhere near it. And I don't even believe Tuchel is in the category of the top 2, if I'm going to be honest.
No, nowhere near the top 2.
I think he's a good manager, and I'd probably put him up there with the likes of Mourinho and that lot. But it's one of them. I don't believe you're world class, not Pep and Guardiola, Pep Guardiola and Klopp's level.
But if you look at the other managers, Conte, etc.
Conte,
I'm not even close to them,
And and that's what I mean. Please tell me what experience Arteta had from other than seeing someone else do this job. That's all he's had. Yeah. And I get the fact that everybody has always come out and gone, if anyone was going to be a manager, we always said it was going to be Mikel. Whenever anyone said that there was a strong enough captain, everyone spoke about Mikel. Okay. But with the recent history, as an Arsenal fan, I've had to endure going from leg and leg with Man United to win titles, FA Cups, challenging the Champions League for 20 years, going unbeaten in a whole league season to what? What have we won? 4 FA Cups. Are you taking the piss? That's what we've won. We became the cup team that we used to take the piss out of Liverpool for. It's all well and good winning the Champions League. What are you doing here? Finishing 4th? Just to get into the Champions League and a chance of winning that. Okay. But to you, that was everything. And then that became for us. And that's where I feel like it went bad. At least we're still in the Champions League. But what the fuck are we winning?
To be fair, Luna's made I got to agree with this point here, and I'm going to say it out what Luna's has said here. Clan, you don't give away stars away, especially if you need depth. I agree. You've said you haven't got depth.
It's not right.
I got to agree with that. I can't deny.
No. Right. So you would rather have something that is toxic to the team.
We don't know that though.
No, but that's what it is. Aubameyang has come out and said it. The issue wasn't with him and Arsenal.
It was with him and Arteta.
It was an issue between him and Arteta that could not be resolved because they had to do it on a professional level. And that's what his words said exactly. Now, what that says to me, and as I'm aware, being on the player side, the amount of times I've wanted to have it out with my manager, but you can't do that shit. You can't talk to him like they're your mate, because they're still the person that pays your goddamn salary and puts you on that pitch.
But that's where the club comes in. You don't lose a star player because the manager and the player don't get on.
Right. So, sorry, we went from 8th to 8th, and they didn't sack him. They allowed him to get rid of, Actually, no, it wasn't even Arteta. I will say this. It was the club that told Arteta not to put Mesut Ozil back into the squad. He wasn't in. That's why he wasn't picked for the 23-man, I think, or 24-man squad that had to be picked.
And he was quality player.
He was. But also, pundits and football fans alike always said he's a player you have to carry. And looking at Arsenal's midfield that we had alongside him, no one was carrying him. Let's face it, Xhaka couldn't carry himself in DM. And now he's further up in that 8 row. He's doing a lot better. But look how many red cards he's cost. He's the most carded player in the short amount of time he's been at a club in the Premier League history. That should tell you. And this guy just came out in an interview, turned around and went, that's how I play. No. And this is what has been wrong with Arsenal. There has been no accountability for being sold project after project after project, and none of them came to fruition. Wenger's youth thing.
You're struggling for goals at the moment. I don't care what anyone says. You're struggling for goals. Lacazette isn't doing it.
No. And this is what I mean. So because the score says 2-1 and then the previous one 3-0, were we struggling for goals when we won 1-0?
Yeah,
when
but
we
1-0
won 2-1.
It's not 9-0. Look at Tottenham. Look at Tottenham.
No.
12 goals in 3 games. You're getting 1-0.
Yeah, and guess what? And if we had just got 3 points, their goals would mean shit right now. Go on, tell me facts. You want to come with facts? They have the facts. Regardless what our score was, goal-wise, 3 points on the board would still put Tottenham in 5th. Go on, tell me different.
Yeah, but you still need a striker.
No. Tell me different. So regardless of the goals we're scoring, the fact is if you don't win, you don't get the point.
Correct, I agree with that.
Now, when Arsenal are still winning only 2-1 or 1-0 or that own goal against Wolves in the final minute, 3 points is all that matters. And this is what I said 2 weeks ago. You are going to see a very stressed clown, Ricky, whatever you want to call me. But that's because we are in our end race is just a lot harder. And we were in a good position. And the fact is the last 2 games have cost us everything.
Yeah, guys, one thing I say about
I'm not saying that we're not going to get out of it.
No,
and by the way, chat, I can't read the chat because I've literally forgot about
that's what I'm going back to. This clown. Just 2 seconds. I'm just saying, guys, you're right. Clown's always passionate about Arsenal. So about football, sports, and law, but Clown is always has been. Since I've known him, he's always been passionate about. But so he's noticed. So am I.
No, I don't give him leeway. You tell me that they played shit. You didn't need to tell me they played shit. I just said to you, Brighton looked like they were going for top 4. Fucking hell, Crystal Palace looked like they were in playing against Chelsea this weekend in the semi-final with the speed and pressure that they were playing at. But that's what I mean. Arsenal, first one was just because I think international break. I don't get why you do that so close to the end of the season. You've got a whole bloody holiday to do that. Don't do it. Literally 8 games. And that's what cost us one of our players. Actually, no, Partey. But unlike Partey, and that's what I said about Tierney, Partey actually had to qualify for the World Cup. So I didn't care that he actually went. He had to play the 180 minutes to qualify his team, his country, for the World Cup. And he scored their winning goal. So my hat's off to you. Okay, you got injured. But yours was a qualifier. Yours meant something in the world of football. Tierney's didn't. Okay. You wasted 180 minutes in this kid. And not only does it affect us, this kid needed surgery. That affects his career. Does it not? So that's what I mean. I just feel like the FA don't take enough credit when it comes down to thinking about this. But it is what it is. Arsenal are still in it. I'm not sitting there and saying that what you're saying is right about me. I don't think that we're out of it. Because as I said in the first show back, even regardless of these results, if we were to beat Chelsea, beat Man United, and then beat Tottenham, and not lose another game for the rest of the season,
yeah.
And I get that even after I put that out there, both you said, but the chances, Ricky, and I'm with you on that. The chances aren't great. The one that sticks to me is actually the Tottenham game, because we've proved we can go to Stamford Bridge and get points.
Yeah.
Man United have proven you don't know what you're going to bloody get, even with the likes of the name Ronaldo on their team sheet. So, but he does like turning up against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then Tottenham. Tottenham is what is scaring me, because if it was at home, Tottenham don't come and get 3 points at the Emirates. I'm sorry to tell you. But
We'll see
at
what happens
Tottenham,
on that front.
yeah, I'm not counting us out of it, but our chances, like you two said 2 weeks ago, are very slim. And they're getting slimmer and slimmer with each result that have gone past.
So I'll go to what's coming up just quickly before we finish up. I know you
Oh,
try to get
before we move on, thank you for not making any comments to kick me off, Nutty. I know you've held your tongue probably on 5-6 occasions, but thank you.
uh,
I just had Arsenal fan TV in my head the whole time when he was ranting.
Wow.
I was waiting for the rest of the clan to come in and start, like myself personally, but
But that's what I mean. Did I say anything that you
No.
disagree with?
no, you're making fair points.
And that's what I mean. Call me out. If I said something like that you believe is not actually half of the case or even a quarter of it, then pull me up.
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of what's going on at Arsenal.
And that's the issue. The club's been so in secret.
I'm seeing from a neutral perspective, and I'm not gonna lie. I said it before. I think Hughes could end up dropping out of that run well before that Tottenham game.
Yeah. And even if we would get ourselves back in,
believe it's one game at a time for you.
United and Chelsea, we could still lose against Tottenham and West Ham.
I'm not even being funny, mate. You could go to Southampton tomorrow and get done over, because Southampton. Like, listen, I said before, after big defeats, like Chelsea got battered by Brentford, no one saw it coming. Chelsea had to make a statement. Yeah, they went to Southampton 6-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Southampton are coming off the back of that defeat. The questions
and then
need to
went
be
to the
answered.
Burnley and scored 3 there as well. So, I get that. Southampton aren't going to lay down and take that, and that's why I started with that point.
And then obviously you got Chelsea, and for me that could be curtains, man, for you. So it is what it is for you at the moment. I think it's literally just one game at a time. But
what I would like to point out is, as we're well aware, Stamford Bridge is only allowed 30,000, or not even that allowed in it. So is it really going to feel like an away game at Stamford Bridge?
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I think the fan side of it is irrelevant, to be honest, at the moment.
If I was turning up at Stamford Bridge with that inexperienced team with Lokonga and Tavares, the away crowd is going to get onto them, and they know they can break them.
30,000 Chelsea fans are still going to make a lot of noise.
Yeah, I agree.
30,000 Chelsea fans will still be a big noise in that ground.
Well, I didn't fucking hear them.
They're only really losing out on 12,000 fans when you think about it. It's a 42,000.
No, that's why I said I think it might actually be less than the 30,000, because I think it's only season ticket holders that are allowed to go, that have already purchased tickets. I think was actually the rule. Season holder.
I'm conscious of time, guys, because I know your game kicks off soon. Kind of thing. So last bit, couple of
This guy was distracted all last stream, and he can't multitask. He proved he can multitask last week.
I can multitask, go out, but trust me, this one I'm on the edge of my seat.
Nah, good luck to you boys tonight, Nutty. Obviously,
I've just seen our lineup, and I'm.
Go on, run it through. While we're here, we might as well run it through before we get into the.
So you got Rodak in goal, Nico Williams right back, Tossin and Tim Ream centre back. Joe Bryan comes back in left back for Robinson, who for me has been poor. Tom Kearney starts again in the middle, which for me is massive, because Chalobah, I don't even know why he's in the team. Harry Wilson out on the right wing. Arvalio in the middle behind Mitrovic. Bobby Deckard over Reed, and obviously Mitro up front. For me, that's probably our strongest side.
Well, it's going to be a winning game for you, and I expect to see tears rolling out of Wayne Rooney's face by the end of tonight.
Yeah, so
That'll teach him to dive in my fucking penalty box and get Arsenal's unbeaten run finished.
right, going to the final two bits. We've got FA Cup this weekend. We've got Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea Palace. If I come to you guys, I'll come to you first, Natty. And chat, you can put your word in this as well. Who's going to the final? What's the final FA Cup?
I'm gonna go Chelsea.
Next one's tough, isn't it?
I'm gonna go Liverpool. Gonna go Liverpool.
Rick?
My issue is I already called the 2-2 draw between you fuckers last weekend. And ever since that day, I've been kicking myself for not being a betting man. Fucking against gambling. But
Luna said Liverpool, Chelsea.
Man City, Chelsea.
Man City, Chelsea for Rick. Obviously,
I want another replay of last year's Champions League final.
Obviously, I'm being a Liverpool fan. Going to go with Liverpool and a Chelsea final. I think it will be. So I'm always going to back my boys on that. And I think I personally think we'll go
I'm
down
going
to
to go
penalties.
both of the underdogs. Actually, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go Man City and Crystal Palace.
Okay.
I'm going to go both of my underdogs.
I think we'll finish on penalties in Man City Liverpool game. I think that would just another draw. I think it'll be a penalty shootout that separates that one personally. But then again, like I said, we'll see what comes out of that. It's the only cup now Jurgen Klopp hasn't won as a Liverpool manager. He's won everything else bar that. So it's the one thing left for him to do.
And he won the other one in this year, so it might make sense.
Luna, it's your own fault, mate. Told you that before. You can take that with Rick later.
Why is it I'm always dragged into this?
Well, no, he said it. Clown made me an Arsenal fan. That's what his Luna's put.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? I might be stressed right now, but guess what? I've actually had improvements this season, which is more improvements than any Arsenal fan has probably seen in 15 years. So I'm willing to take them improvements and hope that it carries on going as an Arsenal fan. So it's one of them.
And finally,
you can always be live on stream and go happily support someone else, but then we'll always remember him for being the American that doesn't know loyalty.
We told him he can't. We told him. We've already told him.
In this country, you do not swap teams. Ask either one of these boys.
He knows that.
Are you allowed to swap teams?
He knows that. He's not looking to swap teams. He's sticking with Arsenal. He's just saying.
Okay.
Clown made me pick Arsenal. That's all he's saying. So this.
Well, if you're a true Arsenal supporter, when you come to England, we'll go to a game.
Right. So just go through the fixtures for the weekend. Nutty and Rick, just tell me a winner. Tottenham, Brighton.
Tottenham.
Draw.
Okay. Man United, Norwich.
Man United.
Man United.
Southampton, Arsenal.
Draw.
Southampton.
I reckon it's going to be a 1-1.
I go draw. Watford, Brentford.
Brentford.
Watford.
Okay, and then we've got the Sunday games. Newcastle, Leicester.
Leicester.
See, I see Newcastle picking up points because Leicester literally just played their fucking hearts out to get through.
And then we've got West Ham, United, and Burnley.
I see this one being a draw because they have to rest up players because obviously they're going
West
straight.
Ham win. I think Burnley going to be on a downhiller after what happened today.
Yeah, but it's going to go to an interim, which is going to be someone that was already in that connection with Sean Dyche, won't it? It'll be like the assistant manager or something.
Luna's not going to let that point go.
Has it even said who's taken that role yet?
The assistant manager, first team, and they've all left as well.
Yeah, it's a under 23
coach. It's not really any different for them. They've just lost Sean Dyche.
We'll see what happens there.
The under 23 coach, the goalkeeping coach, and the club captain Ben Mee are taking charge of the team for Sunday's game in West Ham.
Yeah. So, right, chat. That it is it for today. It's been a quick one because obviously Easter
Well,
weekend.
there is 5 fixtures that will be played before we come back on Friday, and that will be the Liverpool Man United game midweek,
Yeah.
the Chelsea Arsenal. Well, I'll reel them off, and you guys can give me your results. Liverpool Man United,
Liverpool,
Liverpool,
Liverpool, yeah. Chelsea Arsenal,
Chelsea,
Chelsea,
Chelsea. Everton Leicester.
draw.
Leicester,
Ooh. Yeah, let's go Leicester. Newcastle Palace.
I'm gonna
Newcastle,
go Newcastle.
I think it depends on what Palace's result is this weekend, but yeah. And the other game is Man City Brian.
draw.
Man City.
Agendas. But yeah, no, that's literally. And then obviously there are games on Friday, I believe, when our show will be happening anyway. So we
Yes.
can keep a little going on that while we're doing our one next week.
Yeah, it's on. Friday. We're back to normal time next Friday.
What's that? The 22nd.
The Friday 22nd. Yeah,
Yeah, it's only championship games anyway.
yeah. It's only championship games anyway on that day. So, and Fulham aren't playing. No, actually one championship game on the Friday. The rest is all League
I
Two.
was about to say,
Yeah, we
it's this
got
like today is all.
Tuesdays are there's a full championship program. Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we
we
can do
got
that.
Burnley, Southampton on the Thursday. Huddersfield, Barnsley in the championship. Then it's obviously Saturday fixtures.
Yeah, we can come to that after. Right, chat. Thank you everyone that came today. Luna, Gaz, Isnifer, and I know there's one more person. Jump Shot. Thank you guys for coming in today and joining the show. Appreciate the support that you give us. Clan made you a lot of things, mate. You picked the wrong team. End of story, Luna. But we're going to leave it there. Thank you for the support, guys. Appreciate it. I can't even raid from here. Sorry. I wish I could. So actually, I can. 1 second. I can raid. I lied. If there's anyone, right? There's no one from. So we just raid. We raid. It's only Alex already on. So we raid Miss Annex. As she's gone on. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming in. Raid. At Miss ANX1. Let's go to Alex and Love, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Thank you again.
Peace.
And let me change.